The Indiana Hoosiers or the Purdue Boilermakers?
The team in West Lafayette. I just think, listen, they got almost everything back. Obviously, they lost the big boy, who was the best player in the country, but they have everything else back. They've got a culture there, and I think that culture, to me, probably puts them a little bit over the top. Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer have been there. They've done that. They got to the championship game, and I think we're going to see, like Miles Colvin, Cam Heide, have to step forward. Does Indiana have more talent? Yes. Purdue's culture, to me, that's the differentiator.
I'm excited to see how Paint coaches this team and all the different offenses that's going to open up, because he has this more diverse group of guys. Last year, we all knew what it was going to be. It was going to be Zach Edey. You're going to center everything around him, and then you're going to have guys play off of him. I'm worried about Purdue because I think those guards are very good. Braden Smith is very good. Not the most athletic bunch. Not the most athletic bunch. I'm going to pick Indiana just because I've agreed with you twice, and I don't want to do it 3 times in a row. So I actually think Malik Renaud is tough as nails. He's really good. Miles Rice, who transfers from Washington State, right at 15 points a game, didn't shoot the ball great. I'm a believer in his shot. I think he can shoot the ball better than what they did. That's the big concern for Indiana, but I feel like if they're able to feed the guys inside and they're able to continue shooting that high percentage from 2, those threes, they have guys that can make shots. They haven't, but I feel like they have guys that the touch is there with a little bit more space. It could be even better.
I'm in on Indiana as well. Yeah. And it's not because I think Purdue is a top 15-ish kind of team in America, but for me, the key to Indiana's season and whether or not they can live up to these expectations, I want both you guys' opinion on this because both you guys have coached. Mike Woodson last year spent a lot of time playing 2 bigs together, right? Like that was his thing. We're going to play our 2 big guys together. I think if you can find a way to be able to get like 30 minutes a game where you don't have Malik Renaud and Umar Ballo on the floor together, where you get more spacing, where you let Mackenzie Mbako play at the 4, to me, that's the key that unlocks Indiana. That's the key to making Indiana a team that can reach their potential. I just don't know if Woodson's going to do it. I don't know if he'll lean into that.
The perimeter shooting has just been absolutely atrocious. It's like to be at Indiana and not have somebody to be able to make a perimeter jump shot.
It's Indiana, man.
It's hard to do. I mean, we talk about UConn and where they're ranked based on last season. I mean, I think bringing those 2 guards back for Purdue and Fletcher Lawyer and Braden Smith, the development they had after the 2 years ago, all the heat those 2 guys took. I mean, they took a lot of heat for their first-round exit. Everybody was on them. They blocked out the noise. They came back. They got to the national championship game. They're a year older. So I'm giving them the nod because, again, who's making perimeter jump shots for the Indiana Hoosiers? Who can step up and be a 37%?
Carlisle's got to be.
38%.
I'm
not asking somebody to shoot over 40% from 3. I'm asking somebody to just be able to make a 3.
Be a threat.
But those 2 guards, man, I thought their focus coming back after everybody gave them hell for how they played. The media, everybody gave them hell. They came back and they got them to a national championship game.
Rice and Carlisle, I think, will have better years from the perimeter. And there's a freshman named Bryson Tucker.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. That's really talented and really good. I think he'll provide some perimeter scoring for those guys. Let me preface what I'm going to say because we're all Matt Painter fans. Purdue reminds me of what we talked about a minute ago with UConn. I think there's a major step back in Purdue. You guys know, and that's because I said about Zach Edey. This is a 2-time National Player of the Year.
Generational.
And you don't get you don't replace that. And he made their jobs that much easier now. I'm scheming these guys. Now I'm going into a game I'm scheming these 2 now. That is totally different. Fletcher Lawyer doesn't get the open 3s anymore.
I was about to say
he has some struggles with inconsistency with Zach Edey. If Zach Edey's not there, putting on the floor, creating his shot is not his strength. It's unfair. I think there's some unrealistic expectations because it's just Purdue, no different than what we talk about with UConn. We just expect them to be this, and I think they'll be a team better in February. Like I said about UConn, I think obviously UConn's more talented, I think, but there's going to be an adjustment for this team, and I think they take a major step back. That's not even close. I know they made the national championship, but I think those guards will have to. It takes them time to adjust to being schemed. And you guys know what I mean when I say that. There's a different. That's the scouting report was, we're gonna make Zach Edey beat you, and then Zach Edey beat you. So then you still had the double and everything else. That's gone. I don't care. There's no one coming in. There's no one on the roster can make up for their impact. No team in the country has to make up more than what Purdue has to make up. So to me, it's unfair to put them as highly as some people do, in my opinion.
I got another. We got a break.
Everything that Lawyer did was predicated off of Zach Edey.
Yes.
That's what scares me more than anything.
We got a break. I'll ask the guys later. Big Ten, who wins that title? Because there's a bunch of arguments